Hi, welcome to howtopam. Today I'd like to discuss the screencasting tool, Screen Studio. Now, Screen Studio is initially developed for the Mac operating system and Ubuntu Linux. But will Screen Studio run on Arch? Let's have a look at that. All Screen Studio really requires, it comes in a self-contained package, but it requires Java 8 and FFmpeg only. So if your system has those two tools installed, Java 8 and FFmpeg, then technically the self-contained package of Screen Studio, Screencastor, should work. So let's have a look at the instructions here. Okay, so here it says, and this is very important, that we copy the content of the zipped folder or the archive folder to any folder we like. Then we execute the script to create the desktop shortcut on the desktop, but we have to make sure that we have Java 8 installed, and we must make sure that we have FFmpeg installed. It's got to be version 276, so it says for Ubuntu, but we don't know if that's that important or not. And we make sure that Pulse Audio is installed, as it is required for audio mixing. Well, here we have a copy of Manjaro Linux. Okay, we have a copy of Manjaro Linux. Let's have a look here. It's running the Xface desktop. Let's have a look here and see in our multimedia we have Pulse Audio. Okay, on Manjaro we have Pulse Audio. Okay, let's see if we have the right version of FFmpeg and Java installed. So let's bring up a terminal here and let's type FFmpeg version. And you can see here we have FFmpeg installed. It's not version 2.7 as Ubuntu required, but is 3.1. That should be okay. Now let's check for the Java 8. So we have the FFmpeg. Let's check the Java. Java version. And we have Java version 1.8.0. It's open. It's Open Java Development Kit. And the runtime environment 1.8, which is Java 8. So we do have the prerequisites. So let's exit that. We have everything on our Arch Linux here that's required. So if we went to the download for Ubuntu Linux, and we could see here that we actually don't want the source code, we want the bin. We want the bin file. Okay, so we'll take the latest version, which was July 3rd of 16. We'll take that bin file, not the source, and it's actually 2.30, not 2.9 or 8. So there's the latest source, and the bin file is what we want. And we'll take that and we'll save that file. Okay. Okay, so we have the prerequisites and we've got our file. It's a very small file. So now we can go ahead and close off the internet here, and let's go into our downloads, and you can see here that we have Screen Studio here. So let's right click on that And let's open that with the Archive Manager. And let's extract that. Let's extract that to perhaps, let's go back a directory and let's create a folder, and let's call it Screen Studio. Okay, let's extract that into there. Okay, it says show the files. Let's show the files here. Okay, so we can get rid of this archiver and we can get rid of our downloads folder. Okay, so now that we have this extracted here inside our Screen Studio folder that we created, you can see that we have a number of program folders in here, and you can see that we have this jar file. Now, this jar file, as it is right now, is not executable. So we'll need to create or make that executable by giving it permissions. Now, the best way to do that is to actually open up our terminal here, and let's go to, let's tell it sudo change mode to executable. The best way to get this file, okay, so we're going to change mode executable on this file here, so we'll just drag it in there. Okay, and that tells the console here where that file is. Okay, so we're gonna set the executable bit on that particular file. Okay, so let's press enter, put a password in, and there we go. Okay, so now that file is executable. Okay, the next thing we want to do is actually let's try to run this here. Now that we've changed the executable bit on this jar file, let's see what happens here. There we go. You see it runs. Now, had we not set the executable bit here, it would not run when we've done that. So what we can do now, okay, I'm just going to close that out. It actually runs. What we can do is run the desktop file, and that will move the icon over to the desktop. I've already got it installed here, so I'm not going to do that, but you would actually run this desktop file simply by doing that and dragging that into there. Frankly, we have an extra bar here, so let's just backspace that out. And if we ran that, that would put the icon over on the desktop, but I'm not going to do that now because I already have that there. And then once we've done that, we click on the desktop icon. Okay, now close this out. Remember now, we've changed the executable bit on this here Screen Studio jar file, and then we create a desktop icon by running this file, and that will put the icon on your desktop. And then when you click on that icon, you will actually get the same action that you would by clicking on this particular folder, this here executable file here. You'll get that. And if you've seen here, once you're into this program, you could choose the kind of file you like. You could choose your video size that you want. You can choose your sources. If you have a webcam, you can choose your webcam. If you have a microphone, you can choose whether your microphone is built in or in the webcam itself, and whether you have internal. If you have a panel, it comes with a panel that can be edited. The panel comes in Haml code, and you can edit that how you like, and you can change the location of the panel, the size of the panel, the duration in minutes that you want to record, and you can actually add a line of highlighted text on your panel there. Here are shortcuts for the keys on your keyboard if you'd like to run by the keyboard instead of the mouse. Okay, and that once all that is set up, you can press capture and you can begin your recording. So we want to know, as I have here, does Screen Studio Screencastor run on Arch Linux? And the answer is yes, it does. And you can see as we are running it right here. So let's just have a look. Let's stop the screen. We should see if we actually got anything here. So let me go into where I keep my version. Now, if we go back, you remember that we had Screen Studio installed here. We made a new folder for it, and it put in its own folder. Okay, so I have my version in here, and inside of the Screen Studio Ubuntu folder is a capture folder, and it stores, Screen Studio stores all the videos recorded into the capture folder. So let's go in there, and you can see that we have a video here that we're recording right now, and we have one here. Let's just open that up and see what we've got. Today I'd like to discuss the screencasting tool, Screen Studio. Now, Screen Studio. Okay, so there you have it. We actually have installed successfully Screen Studio Screencastor in Arch Linux, and all we had to have was Java 8 and FFmpeg. Okay, so wonderful. The screencasting tool, Screen Studio, is easily available by simply Googling Screen Studio, and you'll find it here on the internet, and you can install it from there. Download it for Ubuntu if you're on Linux. Install instructions here. Just make sure you have Java 8 and FFmpeg installed. Okay, so that's a terrific piece of screencasting software. It runs very nice. Thanks for watching howtopam.